Go.
Well, you said you said go.
I wanted to say go instead of so, actually. So
That's great.
So,
actually, do you guys have anything to mention on this intro thing? Because I just realized...
I feel like you certainly do.
No,
I thought you were at... Dude, this is the most uncoordinated intro.
I know. Well, it's because we're running late. It's because this is the first time... Actually, I really want to do a mannequin challenge, and I hope that we
can maybe do it. We can maybe do it now.
We can't. Wait, you can't. But the thing is, you can't. No.
Well, it's already live. So.
Hey, live Facebook.
Yeah,
you can't show the beginning of a mannequin challenge.
This is like double live. We're live on broadcast and live on Facebook.
It's a first.
It's a first.
Dude, you know what is kind of funny though? Is she panned over to Aaron?
Yeah,
but he's not gonna.
Yeah, no, he's.
I mean, who is this?
We don't know. We don't know.
Weird. It's just some random kid in our studio.
He just snuck in.
Yeah.
So
this is our intro. Our intro is we're doing a Facebook Live thing, reminiscing about how we wanted to do a mannequin challenge. We will do a mannequin challenge next week.
We're gonna be so behind on that trend.
Listen,
people are gonna be doing a whole other thing.
I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of our thing.
Because we're gonna do it when it's not cool, and then it'll be cool.
We'll be hipsters about it. We'll be like, this was retro now. This is like an 80s thing.
Well, and away we go, I guess.
All right.
Let's go crazy!
So, everyone, welcome to another edition of Rockstar Next Door. I'm your host, Noosh Kumar Singha, and...
You're not my host.
Hashtag.
Oh, am I the Rockstar Next Door?
No, you should have said, you're not my host, Ryan Walters. I
Ryan
really
Walters.
want to push that.
You didn't follow through.
Yeah.
Whatever, guys. I was busy.
I'm still trying to catch my breath, Courtney.
Yeah, the traffic was...
It was insane.
It was... Yeah, man. I was like this close to just like rolling my head up in the window till I died.
Yeah.
I was ready to just not exist anymore. It was... You're lucky. I mean, you just roll out of bed and show up here pretty much.
I look like I rolled out of bed today. I'm not dressed in like dress clothes and stuff.
The only thing you wore that was... kind of nice is my pants.
Yeah, I want the world to know that today is the first time Ryan and I accidentally matched pants. This is like in 9 years.
I hate you for it also.
Wait, it's the first time in 9 years that you guys have matched pants?
The reason it's like significant to him is because he spent the last 9 years, 10 years trying to get my pants. Like he was always like
literally get into his pants. I really tried to get into his pants.
He tried to buy my pants off of me one time.
Yeah.
And so today, finally, for the first time ever, he bought pants that looked just like mine, and he happened to wear them on the same day as me.
Didn't plan to. That was actually an accident.
And he wept with joy when I walked in. When he saw me,
you don't know what this means to me.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, it's because Ryan has really good taste in pants. Like, really good taste in pants.
Thanks, man.
We were talking about traffic. So, on that note, though, let's introduce our guest for today, who is one of our closest, best friends ever.
Hey-o.
Welcome to the show, Aaron.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me.
So calm.
Aaron, he has no last name, actually.
Calm demeanor.
Aaron Jonker, our... listen, everybody...
You know what's funny? He's like coming off all calm right now.
I know,
but my favorite thing about Aaron is that he is...
Hype.
He is... If a person was hype, it'd be Aaron.
If a person was joy, it's Aaron.
Don't worry, the craziness will come out later, I'm sure.
I should mention this, by the way, just so the fans know who fans, quotation marks.
Dude, didn't we have a name for them?
Fans?
We jokingly called them the Mourners. Didn't we?
Yeah, we did, and I feel like that sounds dumb.
That's terrible.
Now.
But just so the mourners, the fans know, we mentioned a story once about how Noosh took the red pill. This is the Aaron from the red pill story. I took the red pill at Aaron's house.
Yep, indeed you did. You just came full circle, dude.
Yeah.
I wish you would take the red pill again.
We will. We can. As soon as the semester's over, because I need to relax.
It's legal now, too, so hey.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, Aaron, tell us a little bit about yourself so we can...
Okay. Well, I'm 28 years old, and I work at California Institute of the Arts. I actually work in IT, and I'm into cars, video games, and hanging out with you folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to us. Look at this guy.
I like to think that if your sitcom is Aaron and Sam, Devin comes over all the time, it's like you three have like a sitcom, then Ryan and I are like the guys next door who come over all the time to hang out.
Like if this was How I Met Your Mother, I think...
Who are we?
I don't know who we are, but
there was nobody.
It would be How I Met Your Mother if Marshall and like Louie were like the main focus.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's exactly it.
And then Barney and Ted just come over sometimes. Like, hey,
yeah. That's basically it.
Except you'd be Ted, all mopey and sad.
I know, dude. Wait, I'm not mopey and sad.
Okay.
That's actually... Ryan and I would be Barney together. He would be the getting laid part of Barney. I would be the ridiculous schemes and plans of Barney. And dude, in a weird way, that makes sense to you, doesn't it?
I guess.
He says reluctantly.
God, I hate you.
Sorry.
You know what it is?
Oh man,
you know what it is?
You're so right.
It's because we're wearing the same pants that this time
I'm a little salty.
He always makes this comment where he's just like, "We're the same person," but now he doesn't want to make that comment because it's too real. It's too fucking real right now.
It's too meta right now. I'm salty and it's weird. I'm looking at your pants and it's making me really uncomfortable.
He's wondering, wait, am I sitting here or is he sitting there?
Are my legs in those?
Am
pants
I Ryan? I'm the Ryan in Ryan and Noosh.
So I know it's the same color, but is it actually the same pants, like the same maker?
I'm sure they are.
It is. It's rescue jeans, London, skinny,
wow,
burgundy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very specific.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't even know the type of pants I have, but he knows. He wrote that shit
Well,
down. He memorized.
Actually, when I was buying these pants, I'm not gonna lie, dude, I actually took a picture of them and sent it to Ryan to ask, hey, are these the pants? And he was just like, dude, you're in the dressing room. Don't send me pictures.
And he was like, I'm going to get these ones. I'm going to get some khaki ones. I'm going to get some black ones.
Yeah.
We're really stuck on this pants thing.
Well, it's an important part of my life. So, okay, all right. So, anything else you want to share?
Getting in Ryan's pants?
Yeah.
No.
Hey, don't you want to do a shout out to maybe like...
Oh, yeah. By the way, you know what? Thank you for calling out on that.
No
I told my friend I would. Shout out to Sean Hill, my buddy.
Yeah.
And
what up, Sean?
Yeah, and shout outs to my girlfriend, Samantha.
Love you. What up, girl?
What up? I'm sure she's been mentioned on the show before, too.
We'll see you next week, Devin.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. I think now's a good time as any. One of the things a story that Aaron has told that made me cry because it was so hilarious.
Oh, we're just going into it, huh?
I feel like you got to say it. Man. You got to tell the slug
story. Open up strong.
All right, dude. Open strong. Tell the story.
Oh, boy. All right.
It's
yeah. So, all right. Since everyone that tunes into the show, I'm sure, is just absolutely fascinated with poop stories, here we go.
Yeah, that was part of the criteria for you being on the show.
Right.
You
like,
had
this
to
is
have
the place to go for poop stories. So
we make it a safe space.
Right.
It's a safe space.
I got that vibe.
Yeah.
Poop story confessions.
Yeah. All right. Well, basically, this was like 2 years ago. We were on a camping trip down in South Carlsbad, and we brought the dogs and stuff with us, and we stayed for a couple nights, but after the first night, like the idea was, okay, well, like, and by the way, this camping thing is like, it's kind of like beach camping, so you're like on like a cliff, the beach is right there, it's amazing, but the dogs aren't allowed on that beach. So the idea was, all right, well, we'll get up, eat breakfast, and then we'll go and drive to the dog lagoon place, which is like 10-15 minutes away, right? So that was the plan.
Basically,
the
beach where you can take the dogs.
Yeah, exactly. So just short drive, we'll go over there and let the dogs have fun. So everybody's just getting in the car and stuff, and then just this feeling overwhelms me. I'm just like, oh god, I gotta take a shit. But I didn't want to be that guy because everyone had just finished getting it all packed into the Durango. Right, we got two dogs, 3 other people, just all finally get in the car and they're like, all right, come on, let's go. And I didn't want to be that dude, be like, hold on, I got to take a shit. Everybody's got to wait like another 15 minutes. So I was like, all right, you know what, forget it. I'm going to scout out some places on the way there. And I was...
That's never a good idea.
Right. I was just like, you know what, I'm going to drop them off and just on the way back, I was like, I'll just stop somewhere or whatever. And so we're driving there, right? Looking for places. This Vaughn's on... catches my eye on the right, and I was like, at the time I was thinking, this is perfect. We need to get more.
This is after you drop him off your plane to go to this Vaughn's.
Yeah, exactly. So we're still driving there. I see it, and I was like, you know what? This is perfect. We need to get more firewood anyways. I'll pick that up at the same time. It's a good excuse, right, to go take a shit. I was like, guys, I got to go back and get some firewood. Yeah, exactly. Actually, I was brutally honest. I was like, I got to go take a shit. So here, I'll be back. So anyways, dropped them off, start driving back, and I swear to you, I've never had this happen to me before, but literally, like, as I'm driving, it just came on like tenfold, and I just had this feeling like, you need to shit right now. Like, right now.
It's happening.
Yeah. And like, I literally contemplated.
Your shitting water broke.
Dude,
basically.
I'm just in this, like, neighborhood, and I just.
Yes. This baby's coming.
Basically, right? My water broke. And anyways, I'm in this neighborhood, and I just literally, it was so bad, I just contemplated pulling over and just taking a shit right there on the sidewalk. But, I did not do that. I was like,
you're classier.
Forget it. Yeah, exactly. Classier than that. Rush to this Vaughn's, right? Jump out of the car. And I run in there, and I immediately see this lady. I was like, oh, excuse me. Can I use your bathroom? And tell me where it is. She's like, yeah. No problem. Just go down aisle 3, all the way down, hang a left, and it's all the way down there on the left. And I'm like, great. Go through there, bust in the bathroom.
Walking all fast.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, Jesus. And then it's just one of those bathrooms where there's a sink, one urinal, and one stall, right? So I was like, okay. And I bust the stall open, and I was devastated at the sight of the toilet. There's just toilet paper just everywhere. Like, it's just filled to the brim with toilet paper.
Disgusting.
And one solitary slug of shit just hanging out of the bowl, just bloop, and like on the side. And I was like, oh, Jesus. So...
Not even all the way in.
It's not, dude. Out. It's just hanging halfway out. And then I was like, oh, God. And so I, like, kicked the flusher thing. And I was like, and then it just like, makes the noise. Nothing happens.
Oh, God.
I was at the point of no return. And I was just like, oh, fuck.
And and here's the thing, too, is like, you're at a point where, like, where it has to happen no matter what. It doesn't matter what you're looking at. It's happening.
See, yeah, you've been there.
I've been there.
I remember this story.
I've been there.
I listened to that episode. Anyways, and I was like, all right, it didn't flush. So I was like, plan B, dude. Not sitting on this fucking thing. So I'm just like, all right, screw it. And I'm just sitting there hovering over the toilet, just knees shaking, and this is coming out.
Oh, my God.
And I'm just like, oh, Christ. And, okay, I finished, right? Just skip the roaring details there.
Yeah.
Anyways, I finished.
This is the Magic School Bus version.
Oh, God.
Process.
I'm sorry, everyone at home. But you know what? This is just, I'm telling you how it is. Yeah. This is how I am. So now I finish, and now there's even more toilet paper just all over. And now there's a second shit just laying right next to the first one. But you can clearly tell that this one was newer.
Steam still coming off of it.
Oh, dude. And so I'm just... like, in my head, I'm like, oh, God, what did I just do? And just, dude, I try and flush it again, right? Nothing happens. So I was like, all right, screw it.
What's funny about this to me is I feel like that toilet, I'm going to choose to believe that the toilet was, like, clogged when that first guy got there. And he was in the same place you were. And he was fuck it, it's got to happen. Yeah. Like, this toilet just is the emergency shit toilet. Like, everyone going in there is just like, well, it's still going to happen. Just
been backed up for days, just... Anyways, I walk out, and
dude, that means that lady who you asked, this happened before.
She knew.
She's like, oh.
She saw it originally. She's like, oh, shit, he's going there. She's like, oh, I'm not cleaning it. Leave that to the night crew or whatever,
Poor night crew who had to do that.
Oh, boy. Well, whoever works at that Vaughn's, I'm sorry. But anyways, just to wrap this up, I'm sitting there washing my hands, right? Just... washing the shame away, and just, oh, God, just everything going through my head, like, what the hell just happened? Hear the door open behind me, right? And dude walks in, and I'm like, oh, no. And then I hear him open the stall door, and I'm like, oh, great. And then all I hear, just from over the stall door, he just goes... And I just almost lost my shit washing my hands.
For the second time.
I felt so bad. Anyways, I just walked out, but left him to deal with that. So that was it. And
yeah. It's great. Well, on that note, the topic for today is
totally related.
Okay,
related.
that's a good segue.
Yeah.
Right. Perfect segue.
Our topic today is multiplayer, which is in reference to gaming, any kind of gaming, but multiplayer, or just multiplayer in terms of doing something with people, whatever. Multiplayer. That is our topic for today. So, Courtney, we leave it for you to get us started today.
Ladies first,
we'll see how it
for
goes.
once.
So I was going to talk about two things. I don't know if they're quite related, but I'm going to try to relate it. I'll create a hypothesis, and we can see how that goes. So what I looked up and what I found was this thing called the Dunning-Kruger effect. And what that is saying is that, it's like, say, for example, for games, where if you're playing by yourself, you think, like, oh, I'm so good at this game. I'm great. I'm awesome. I'm like number one. And
oh
then
my god, I know exactly where this is
you
going.
You know all the secrets.
I've
all the secret passages. You know like everything. And then when somebody else comes into the game, whether you're doing it like virtual play where other people can sign on, I guess, or you just have a second player, you see how quickly much you suck. Like, they know
basically
way
as
more
soon as
than
anyone
you do.
starts playing, you're like, oh,
so this
I'm
is
terrible
like
at this game.
multiplayer gaming in a nutshell. Like, this is multiplayer gaming.
At least our experience,
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this effect goes for a lot of things, we're just focusing right now for the multiplayer thing, because I think we could probably relate it to a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean,
especially like the current president-elect, but, we'll leave that aside. In terms of the idea behind
Wait,
it.
hold on. How would you relate? I'm just...
Because the idea behind... So I'm relating it to multiplayer games. But the overall thing behind it is where you think that you are better at stuff when you're not.
Gotcha.
Compared to... so it's saying that people... One of the things it was saying was that people who are overconfident and they think that they know what they're doing, they'll overcompensate, like, oh yeah, I'm so great at this. Whereas people who are really trying to understand whatever the process or whatever it is that you're working on, they'll be a little bit more humble, and they'll try to really, and they'll think that they don't do as good on the same task as the other people, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah. So for games, that's what the Kruger-Dunning effect was. And so they did this study back in 1999. It was from Cornell University. And they did a bunch of stuff. So, I mean, that's kind of my setup. So what I wanted to kind of relate that to was, have you guys heard of Second Life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, listen, in this room, we're all, like, all three of us are big gamers. Courtney, you gained a little bit.
I'm the outsider.
You've told us. You've told us you gained a little when you were younger, but not really.
Yeah, not
really.
full.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I thought of Second Life, because I remember seeing it, I don't know if it was something on HBO that I saw or some other documentary, but they were talking about Second Life and how people create relationships with the people within that game, even to the point of sexual relationships. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And so then I started doing a little bit more research now that I thought of that and everything. And from what I found, it was saying that people were saying that their sexual relationships in Second Life were better than their sexual relationships in real life. So if you compared the two, they preferred Second Life versus
my virtual dick.
Wait, and they're saying specifically sexual relationship, not like romantic or
sexual relationships. Yeah.
Weird. Well, not weird.
Maybe
It's nothing
because
wrong.
they can
whatever.
choose
It's
to be good
cyber
in
sex.
bed.
It's basically
Yeah. No, it is.
Take
It
good
is.
choice. Yeah, I guess.
It's what?
He said maybe because they can choose to be good in bed.
Or not.
Yeah.
That's true,
well,
man.
What I was saying was that also because you can do a lot more because you're in virtual space. There's one thing I saw, like, it's amazing what you can do when there's no gravity. So you can really experiment, with whatever you want. And I guess also you are able to purchase or do something within Second Life where you can attach to your avatar genitalia and stuff like that.
Listen, by the way, I'm familiar with Second Life, but I don't know all the details.
I didn't know all that, but what's funny about that too is, like, your character just doesn't have anything before you buy this upgrade.
Buy a dick,
Let me buy a dick upgrade.
It's DLC. Dude.
I mean, at least it's cool that you can upgrade your dick. I mean,
you can.
That's exactly why people's sex life is better.
Yeah.
Second Life. Look how big it is.
Let's see. So there's one there. So this is, and what's interesting about Second Life is that it's bringing in a whole lot of psychologists, and they're doing a lot of research within it, mainly because they're finding that the way people act within Second Life aside from sexual relationships, because you can do stuff you can't do in real life. But the way people act in Second Life is the way that you usually act socially in real life. So they were saying, like, if some random character kind of comes up to you and you don't know who they are, you kind of back away, which you would do in real life too. If some random person just kind of walks up to you and, like, it's staring at you, just kind of, like, back away.
They do the same thing in Second Life?
They do the same thing in Second Life. Okay. So that's why psychologists are really interested in studying Second Life, because they're seeing the parallels, and so they want to know more about social behavior.
That it carries over.
It carries over.
I'm surprised there wasn't just a lot of, like, random person walks up to you and you just turn around and go, check out my upgraded dick.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like when you look at YouTube comments, that's exactly what people do.
Somehow the expectation in Second Life, once you discover about the DLC upgradable dick, is just, that's the game. Okay, well, there we go, guys, packaged it up. That's the game. It's just people walking around upgrading their dicks right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it's crazy. Well, and part of what it is, and I'll see if I can relate it back to what I started with. But part of it is just, who doesn't want to have a Second Life where you can be something different than what you are in real life? So if you feel like you're not pretty enough or handsome enough or cute or taller or whatever it is, you can make your avatar be that. And some of the studies were showing that if you do create this different avatar that has some of the same characteristics as you, but you're just, like, improving on them, it kind of carries over back into real life, because you've gained confidence within that virtual world, and then you carry it with you when you go into your next interactions. So there is that carryover.
So basically saying the confidence they gain carries over into real life.
Yes.
Into first life.
Into first life, yeah. Into first life. So going back to the relationship aspect of it, there's one study, and they had 217 people participate in it. About 51% were in real-life relationships, and 49% were not. Within the game, 43% had sexual experiences. Now, of that...
Second Life sex.
Second Life,
yes. Oh. And then within that, they found that 60% of the subjects actually had more satisfying sexual experiences in Second Life than in real life.
That is so fucking weird to me.
I mean, the only way I'm able to, like, because, I mean, listen, by the way, it's not weird as in, like, weird sexual...
No. Yeah,
it's weird as in, like, I'm trying to imagine how it can be sexually fulfilling. When
exactly. I'm not saying it's weird, like, people are having virtual sex. That doesn't bother me.
But you know what, though? I mean, the way I'm relating is it's cyber sex. Like, it's just really good cyber sex.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess.
That's what it basically is.
Well, so...
I was gonna say, I wonder if their spouses in First Life would know about this, or consider that cheating.
Well, I will tell you.
Or is that just like, all right.
This study's comprehensive.
Well, it can affect relationships in positive and negative ways. From a Brigham Young University study, they found that 75% of people in relationship that had a relationship in role playing in the virtual game, their partner wished that they spent less time playing that game because they were giving more attention to that virtual world than to them. But then also, it also found that 76% of couples who role played together believe that it strengthened their relationship.
So basically, they were saying, if you get into Second Life and we have Second Life sex, it's going to be awesome because we're having 2 lives worth of sex, and one of them has no gravity.
Dude, at some point, the Second Life sex is like, all right, dude, jump out. We're going First Life now.
Yeah.
Log out.
Yeah, or just like you get home,
or just have you both doing it at the same time.
Yeah,
like your avatar is having sex while you have sex.
Yeah, why not?
Can you just imagine that conversation? Like you get home from somewhere with your, significant other, and you're like, "Hey, babe, you want to hop online and do it with them on Second Life?"
That's funny. But then the other side of the thing is like, what if you walk in on like your significant other playing Second Life, and you're like, "What the?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Who's
especially
this guy?
Especially if you don't know about it.
Who's this?
I mean,
I wonder if you have to be honest. Like, you'd be like, listen, I'm gonna be sleeping with this other person in Second Life. Is that okay? Like, we're good?
That kind of, I can't remember where I saw it for the life of me, but that was one of the issues I saw in that documentary or whatever I saw, was the person was just like, this guy was married, I think it was a guy, and he was spending more time within Second Life, and he had a whole other family in that. And he was
Second Life?
in Second
Wait,
Life
family,
to the
like
point where
kids?
he was ignoring his actual family.
You know what's kind of weird about that too is like, okay, Second Life, you can do anything you want.
Yeah.
You can be anyone, and
Yeah.
he chose I'm gonna be the same guy. He didn't do like Bob's off the grid. He didn't do like any weird
Yeah.
crazy stuff. He was just like, I'm gonna be the same person
Just a
here.
little better, a little more
A
attentive.
little better. I can have
Yeah.
sex upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll still
On the
have kids,
ceiling.
and I'll still do all
Maybe
this
the
other-
answer to better fathers, more attentive husbands is just
Virtual.
like less gravity. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to throw out a couple more things that they were saying was that, of course, the majority of people wish that their Second Life, sex life, could travel over into real life. But people in Second Life were having sex more frequently in Second Life, between daily and weekly, whereas in real life it was between monthly and yearly, and sometimes even more than a year in between sexual experiences. So Second Life opened up the door so they can have sex whenever they want.
And I think the funny thing is, at some point, I wonder if they were just like they were having like regular, consistent sex in Second Life. They forgot that they hadn't had sex in real First Life for like a year, and they're like, "Shit! Like, have we had sex?
we
in,
done
like,
this?
Like, it's been a while, huh?"
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing.
Next step, virtual reality, Second Life. You'll
Have you
never
guys listened? I don't know if you guys listen. Actually, I was about to ask. I don't know if you guys remember this, but I realized I would be the only one to remember this. I remember there was like, and this is something I just read online, but I vaguely remember this sort of thing being out there. But like back in like mid to early '90s, there was like this European video game magazine that talked about the future of virtual reality and especially the sexual applications of virtual reality. And dude, they had like gear that I was like, this shit looks crazy. Like you can put on this device onto your junk and
The
like
Auto Blow 2000.
and like freaking like virtual reality glasses
Yeah.
and like gloves and stuff. And the whole idea is you're like having sexual experiences in this virtual reality and you're feeling it. But dude, I'm telling you, when I first saw that, though, I was like, this shit looks terrible. It looks like if anything goes wrong, your dick gets ripped off. Like, yeah, you might feel good, but if it like short circuits, well, I guess you're never having sex in First Life again.
Something about that sounds familiar. I feel like I saw something about that. I
Like
don't
a
know.
weird guillotine or something.
It looked like okay, imagine a glove that's a middle finger, like it's like putting its middle finger like this, like it's flipping you off. It's a glove that's flipping you off that you put on your dick. That's what it is.
Is it open-ended?
It's not you.
Well, I'm just wondering, like,
You-
what happens when...
I
happens when
know,
you're done?
right?
You good?
That
You
means
just go in it?
I mean, you gotta clean it out because that's
Right.
gross. Listen, I'm not
These are
gonna
the questions
spend.
I'd have.
Considering how much money virtual reality technology costs, like it's like in the hundreds of dollars. I would not buy my virtual reality dick enhancement device if it's gonna get like messed up by regular use.
I mean, they'd have to do like
Yeah.
waterproof or
Yeah.
some kind of something.
You know what? Why I would never buy that? Aside from the fact that I would never want to buy that, but the other reason
You
is
can't
this.
sell it.
That's true.
The resale
value
value
plummets
as soon as you
I
use
mean,
it.
But there will
Got
probably
some
always be
mileage.
somebody out there that will buy
Dude,
something like
I'm not
that.
gonna lie,
Oh,
Craigslist.
yeah,
somebody
you're
would buy it.
Somebody
That's fine.
would buy
I'll
it.
just Kleenex it out. But I'm just saying though, the one thing I would just say is
You ruined everyone's day.
I did.
with that comment.
I did. I literally cannot. I cannot imagine spending that much money on something that I'm going to ruin the first time you use. Like that's just like I don't want to use it again.
It's a one-shot.
It's a one shot. It's like it's disposable. Oh
Oh
god,
man,
It's like
That's-
those Kodak
that's gross.
cameras. Just
that is gross. I'm God, Ryan. Go on, Courtney.
Yeah.
So let's.
Well,
So
kind
anyways.
of, I'll try to lead it back to the Dunning-Kruger effect. So if the Dunning-Kruger effect has to do with thinking that you are way better than you actually are when you're not,
Right.
maybe that's the reason why people are having more sex in Second Life, because
Oh.
it's kind of overcompensating for them. So if that not overcompensating.
No,
is the
I
wrong
get you.
word,
It's like
but,
you're more confident. Like I
you're
can't
more
fuck this up. Basically,
Yeah.
it's that.
So maybe that's why more people are doing it. Just again, going back to the thing of just you can be who you want, whoever you want
Yeah.
in Second Life. It's not real life, so you can have those options available to you.
Yeah, you'll never drop someone or miss or anything crazy like that. It's You're always perfect stud.
Yeah, dude.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
So that's my hypothesis. I don't know if it's true. I was trying to see if I could find any, if there have been
Wait,
any
was that
studies.
a Courtney original? This
Yes.
this thing you combined?
Yeah, I combined these two things
Whoa,
together.
Courtney!
So
Wow, that's. I thought this was like an article you read. This
no,
is your
I was
own
trying to.
mind.
I
No,
was
look,
trying
she's
to
got
find.
like 3 different things over here of notes.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't know.
This is extensive research, I gotta say.
There's this little meme here and it says beat Halo on heroic. Watch out, we got a badass over here.
Yeah. So no, because I was trying to find to see if there were studies, if there were connections between the two, but I wasn't finding anything. So I just did. It's all kind of the same stuff for the Dunning-Kruger effect, and so I was just reading more on Second Life to really understand what that whole thing is, and that's where I came across those other things of just how psychologists are really studying this, and also apparently the CIA and some other thing, they've actually sent operatives into Second Life to start doing that. No, they have done that, and they haven't really found anything.
They opened up a brothel in Second Life.
Listen, by the way, the CIA investigating something and not finding anything is pretty par for the CIA. Like, that is what the CIA does.
Yeah.
I mean, at least this time they just
It's the
bought fake
CIA
dicks
and the UK.
didn't, you know.
UK has done it too, where they've sent people in because they think that since it is so open, they believe, but although no one has really taken advantage of, or they haven't found it, that people can just meet and talk and plan things undetected. I think maybe only once they found something, and it was something to do with some fraud activity. But beyond that, nothing terrorist related. But,
They should open up the CIA's Second Life office, have people actually do shifts in Second Life to like monitor things and whatever. That way they can basically have in-game avatars to like bust down rooms in Second Life.
CIA exception.
Dude, they bust down a room where 2 guys are planning to do like a RICO fraud kind of thing, and they bust down the doors. They're like, "We got you guys. You're
Find
under
them
arrest."
having sex on the roof upside down.
I want to believe that's possible.
Hey, again, anything's possible. It's Second Life. You never know.
Okay.
So, anyway, that's kind of my spiel.
Yeah. By the way, here's the reason why Courtney's so good at this show and getting topics. It's because when she's like, "Okay, I can't find something good for multiplayer," she made something for multiplayer. Like that's skills.
I can like absolutely attest to this theory thing too, because let me tell you, just like going off on like a little thing here. Like basically for a game like Marvel, you guys know I play Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Like if I play against any of my friends, it's almost guaranteed that I'm gonna win and absolutely wreck them. But I've also gone to like local events too, and I've advanced like a couple times and then like lost or whatever. But then, dude, I've gone to Evo multiple times and I've never advanced once in Marvel. And I don't know if it's just because it's Marvel. There's so much like random factor, but that's just kind of you bring all the best players in the world.
From the world,
like exactly. It's just it really humbles you in
joke.
the sense that like you may think you're very good, but until you've played against those like really top level players, you have no idea.
Yeah, you're like in a vacuum until.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just really interesting. It's going from like maybe like your local area to something like that. That's more just on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
I feel like that every single time I'm playing a game, and I feel pretty good about it, and then Ryan comes over, and it's the exact same experience. I feel humbled that I even thought I was competent at this game.
Yeah,
You know what? There's only one game I've ever played where I've never experienced that, where I have beaten every single person. I'm like so good at this game that I'm still pretty confident that I could probably win on like.
Yeah.
I mean, not against like anyone in the world, but I'm pretty good. Guitar Hero.
Oh man.
I don't know why I'm so fucking.
I know
good.
why.
You're good at Guitar
It's because
Hero?
you did the what's it called, the testing for it, right? You were like, you practiced that.
Testing.
Did you do game testing for here? I thought that was you. No. Oh, my bad.
It just got awkward.
Well, listen, I'll say this though. There's one time in my life where Ryan, and this actually segues into my story, in my life where Ryan has genuinely showed me like legit respect, and I was like, I think the feeling that I have, I'll never forget that feeling. It was the first time he and I played Smash Brothers Melee together, and like I think he expected, considering my gaming experience in the past with him, he expected me to be kind of shitty. Like I talk, like I told him like I'm pretty good at it, but like I don't think he expected much. But when he saw me playing, we were like going like
we were pretty toe to toe.
Yeah, it was a very and we're toe to toe, not in like the. If there was a ranking system for Smash Brothers, it's Melee. I'll say Melee because that's where we were the best at. I would say if it's from the C class to the S class, Ryan and I are probably B class. Like, we're not the low tier. Like, we're like up there. Like, I think my claim to fame in Smash Melee was I played the guy who in 2007 was ranked 16th in the country, and I did well against him for 2 minutes, and then he just wrecked me. Then he just destroyed me. Those 2 minutes, I was like with him, you know?
You know, Noosh, have you ever thought about going to U? I think you would seriously love it.
I think
especially
I would too.
For the Smash. Dude, I have so much respect for the Melee guys. Like, I used to play that game, but there's no way I'd ever be able to jump back into it now. Those dudes still bust out their CRT TVs and bring that shit to EVO, dude. It's crazy.
Ryan, my experience with the new Smash Brothers 4 is not as great. We're not as...
Well, yeah, we're not as good at it, but we also
play
are
online.
always... and it's because we're online, we're playing against a lot of other people.
So
we've had some good ass moments.
Yeah, we
in
had.
there, though.
We
that
had.
Captain Falcon fake out.
Yeah.
Will always be one of my favorite things I've ever done in multiplayer gaming. Like, that was legit.
Yeah. In any case, I want to actually talk about Smash Brothers 4 online multiplayer. Basically, guys, my story is about Smash Hell.
Segues. Level expert.
Yeah.
My story is about Smash Hell. I want to talk about Smash Hell, okay? So, and when I say Smash Hell, I'm referring to Smash Brothers 4 for the Wii U console. Anybody who doesn't know what Smash Brothers is, I want to make this as accessible as possible, right? So, anybody who doesn't know what Smash Brothers is, it is a Nintendo fighting game series. It's been around since the 90s. The first one was on N64, second was GameCube, third was on the Wii, and the current one is on Wii U. And basically, you're Mario, Pikachu, Donkey Kong. There's all these characters, all Nintendo characters, and also third-party related characters now. Yeah, and they're all fighting each other. It's a great fighting series. So this story, right? This guy named Jamel Wilkins posted on Reddit, and before I even mention that, I want to say this: when this was happening to people before Jamel really brought it to the light, nobody was talking about it online. So you have to imagine everything I'm about to tell you is happening to people, and nobody knows why it's happening. It's just a mystery. So Jamel Wilkins goes online and he posts on Reddit about something strange that happened to him. And this is his word. He said he posted that he smashes with, quote, honor and dignity. Okay, he was very clear about that. He's like, I smash
that
with
sounds
honor
like
and
someone
dignity.
Who smashes like an asshole already.
So he mentions that, and then he
Someone
says,
who's suffering from the Dunning-Kruger effect.
clearly. So, however, he says that for 1 month he was trapped in what he calls Smash Hell. Now, this is what Smash Hell is. Okay, Smash Hell is also referred to online as Smash Jail or the Shadow Realm, and it's been described as an obscure. Don't drink that, Ryan. I feel like
Just go.
Okay. It's been only because I feel like you're gonna just spit it out. It's been described as an obscure purgatory where only the darkest of smashers gather. And basically, what it is it's a soft ban in 4 Glory mode for Smash Brothers 4. 4 Glory mode is the competitive online tier of Smash Brothers 4. You can just choose to go fight there against competitive players, right?
Okay.
It's not like for fun.
That's where we always go.
Yeah, that's where me and Ryan play. Like, we don't go play with items and
Have
fun.
we been in Smash Hell?
No, we haven't.
Okay.
You'll know we haven't. But it's the competitive mode, and it's a soft ban. A soft ban is a temporary timeout. If you do stuff that the monitors in the game, Nintendo doesn't like, they'll soft ban you for X amount of time, and you can't play. And usually in most games, a soft ban means you can't play at all.
Yeah, right.
But this is what happens when in Smash Brothers 4. In order to get sent to Smash Hell, you have to be reported a certain number of times. So you have to be reported multiple times to be sent to Smash Hell.
This is other players reporting.
Other players reporting you. That's right. But here's the thing that makes Smash Hell kind of shitty. It's unmonitored, and it's administered by a bot. So there's no person who's actually verifying whether the reports are legitimate or just people being shitty. And there's a lot of shitty people online, let's be real.
Yeah, right.
So it's a bot that's doing this. It's just basically calculating the number of reports you get and just sending you to Smash Hell if you get X number of... So this means you can end up in Smash Hell for any reason. And by the way, the other thing that makes it shitty, once you're in Smash Hell, additional reports will keep you in Smash Hell longer. So basically, one thing that happens to players once they get sent to Smash Hell is you're more likely to be kept in Smash Hell, and actually even more so, even if you get out of Smash Hell, you can be sent back in even quicker by just one more report. Like once you've been there once, additional reports, you don't need X number, you need less.
It doesn't
than that.
reset. You just
it doesn't
basically
reset.
any
It just keeps
additional-
accumulating.
What
yeah.
is it that people are doing that you would get reported?
Yeah, I'm gonna get into
Okay.
that. So basically, once you're in Smash Hell, you're more likely to be wind up back in Smash Hell, and once you're in Smash Hell, you might be in Smash Hell for a
American prison
long
system.
time. Yeah, it's basically, dude. Reading this story, it really sounds like the American prison system. Like I was
their
thinking that.
inspiration.
Yeah. So what is Smash Hell like? Now, by the way, this to me, what I'm about to describe, like what it's like in there, to me is hilarious. It might not be for anybody who has not played Smash Bros., but I will do my best to like explain. I hope you guys, Ryan and Aaron, you've played, so I hope you guys can also allude to why this is hell. Like when you hear this, you're like, that sounds like hell in Smash Brothers terms. So once you get into Smash Hell, what happens is you get soft banned, and you have, first of all, a smaller pool of players to play against. So as a result, you constantly run into the same people who also have been sent to Smash Hell. In Smash Hell,
So you're only
play-
playing against other Smash Hell people.
Exactly. Anybody else who's been banished, you play them. And as a result, the pool is the same. You play the same people over and over again. Also, the load times are terrible. Like, you will spend like 10 minutes, 15 minutes looking for a game, and then you wind up again with the same person. It takes forever to actually matchmake in this mode.
Is that just because there aren't as many people, or is that because
Yeah,
they
probably.
For
specifically
two reasons. One is there's not as many people. The second reason is because it's
You're on like a specific server or something?
Yes, on a specific server, and also there's a lot of bad connections, and there's a lot of
Yeah, people
Lag
reporting
switchers.
them.
Lag
Yeah.
switchers.
You
There you go.
motherfuckers.
We already
Yes,
knew.
we already know it's shitty.
Anybody
Lag
who's played any
switching,
kind of
for anybody who
fighting
doesn't know,
game.
lag switching is it's a device that allows you to switch off your internet connection at certain intervals, and it allows you to basically like slow down somebody else's connection, but you are able to move normally. So you're basically cheating. It's cheating to give yourself
Not
an
basically,
advantage.
you are cheating.
You are cheating. You're cheating to give yourself an edge. But also there's people who aren't lag switching. They're just having really bad connection. So lag switchers are in there. People with bad
Laggers,
connections are in there. Additionally, people are constantly spamming the same projectile attacks. It's basically projectile hell. You're just dodging fireballs like crazy. The whole screen
So that's
is
why they
lit
got
up.
sent to Smash Hell. It's like someone who's just...
That's-
My offense is that all I do is I just shoot Fox's
You're just
laser.
PK fire, PK fire, PK fire.
I'm
Pikachu's
gonna start
Dude,
Thunderbolt.
you're probably not
Fireballs.
even done. This sounds horrible.
Dude, I'm only on like 3. There's like 6 more things I need to mention. So, okay, lag, small pool, projectile hell. All the users in there have really, really offensive, terrible names. You've got players like...
That sounds like regular Smash.
Well,
also.
more so. There's like everybody. So you've got guys like NGGER. You've got Horse Pussy. You've got Adolf. And by the way, there's this person I'm about to mention next. He's actually famous because on the Reddit thread where people mentioned this guy, like somebody mentioned HIV plus, and dude, other people, there's like, dude, I know that guy. Like I fought him before. HIV plus is famous in Smash Hell.
He's the devil of Smash Hell.
He's
Just-
just, so
Pissing
you.
everyone off and
he's
giving
like, I'm
them
always
HIV.
here.
So you have a lot of people who are basically offensive names, and also just so you know, in Smash Brothers, when you're playing, you can change your nickname in the middle of gameplay. So a lot of times, what people do is, let's say Courtney beats me in a regular game of Smash Brothers,
To change
she
your
might
name to Get Good.
she might change her name to
Fucking
Get Good
assholes.
or You Suck. Like basically, you
Dude,
can't.
we need to start reporting people when they do
Yeah.
that.
Trying to psych you
Yeah.
out.
Basically, the
Send
thing
you
is,
to
in
Smash
Smash Brothers, there's no communication. There's no like verbal communication. There's no chatting or messaging. But what people do is they change their name, their nickname. That way, it's
Yeah.
like they're
taunting
They're
you.
taunting you by changing their name, things like that. Yeah, there's a lot of that, by the way. Also, people will change their nicknames to like mess
You're
with
bad.
you.
Get
yeah.
wrecked.
You guys
Yeah.
change your
Free.
names?
Yeah.
We only ever change our names to Regret and Rage.
yeah, just well, my username
Let me
is
guess, you're the regret and you're the rage.
yes. Well, that's it. Yeah, I'm regret of Eli Seeley. He's rage of Eli Seeley.
That's a whole other story as to
but-
where those gamer tags came
But that's
from.
that's
those
why
are
we call
gamer
ourselves
tags.
yeah. But anyway, so there's that. Also, you can't play any other mode of Smash Brothers. That's it. If you want to play Smash Brothers, the multiplayer, you can play single
So
player.
wait. you can't do for fun anymore.
No, you can't.
You can't do anything but Smash Hell.
How
Only
long
Smash-
is this soft ban for?
I'll mention that too. So you can't play any other mode. You're just stuck playing For Glory Smash Hell.
Dude, this really is Nintendo's American prison. Like, that's exactly what this sounds like.
Actually, let me tell you how long people get stuck in there. Normally, you're supposed to be stuck in there for days, but people have been stuck in there for weeks or months.
Because people just keep... They're trolls in there, so they just keep reporting people for
Exactly.
no reason.
There's just so
Misery loves company. HIV Plus is just like, you're in here forever.
so other things. So people are constantly rolling. People actually refer to it as roll spam hell. So rolling in Smash Bros. Is you roll around
dodge.
like it's a dodge. It's a dodge. So but the thing is, if you don't want to fight anybody, you just dodge over and over. You're just chasing somebody on the. Nobody wants to fight. They're just roll spamming all the time. Additionally,
Why even play anymore?
right? There's a lot of players. Here's the thing. There's one thing about the game, though. There is a variety of players in there. Because of the fact that people get reported for, like, a lot of different reasons, you'll see salty players who are just... They're the ones who, even though you're already in Smash Hell, they'll report you again just, like, because they're pissed that you beat them. They're salty players. There's spammers, just spamming the same exact moves. You know, Kirby's Cutter Attack, Pikachu's Thunderbolt, Fireballs, PK Fire, just the same thing over and over, right? There's cheaters who lag switch, who do all kinds of cheating things. So there's cheaters in there. And actually there's genuinely legit good-ass players in there who beat
just
somebody.
Because they beat people so hard, they're like, I'm reporting you.
Yeah.
They got reported, they got sent to Smash Hell because they're just good. And also, here's the thing that I love, though. Somebody else mentioned, though, there are a lot of foxes down there. Like, there's a lot of foxes. And if anybody plays Smash knows, like, Fox is... I don't know how to describe... Can you guys describe why Fox is, like, an annoying character?
At least I know from Melee,
he's all those things at once.
He's
projectile
literally
spam,
everything I
and
mentioned.
spam.
Fox is the embodiment of everything I just mentioned. And
Just fast.
Projectile, mobility, he's got all the tools.
yeah. So in Smash Hell, you will fight a lot of foxes down there. And here's some quotes, dude. Somebody once at one point says, "There are so many foxes down here, and of course that one fucking Toon Link."
Toon Link's pretty annoying too.
Yeah, but
For the same reasons.
There's one guy who's just down there playing Toon Link, and somebody else also mentioned some people are spammy assholes. Some people are Fox players.
Dude, what's funny about this Reddit thread also is that's everyone in Smash Hell. They're just in there talking to each other and talking shit about each other pretty much.
So here's the reasons why you can be sent to Smash Hell, right? Playing a naturally spammy character like Fox, Toon Link, Duck Hunt Dog. These are characters who just naturally do projectiles. I mean, it's kind of like annoying.
They're troll characters.
They're troll characters. Yeah, I mean, you try to get close to them and they just hit you and dodge. Like,
By the way, I'm glad our troll team, we literally have a troll team that we use. They aren't troll characters.
They're not. Our troll team, by the way, for anybody who's interested, is the Villager and well, you play Lucas or Ness. One of those two.
Usually.
Lucas usually.
Because I have a special place.
Dude, by the way, before Lucas, he played Ness, and the first time he played Ness, I played Villager. The first time we paired them together, they're like both little boys. Villager's a new character in the series. Ness has been around since forever. He's like since the first one.
Melee.
The very first time we saw them together, like, dude, Ness has never felt so complete. Like, he has his best friend, two little boys trolling and playing together. That's what Ness and Villager are. So anyway, oh, by the way, the other thing about Smash Hell, everybody's taunting. Everybody's taunting. And it's annoying. In Smash Brothers, taunting is actually cuter than most other games. Taunting is usually like, you know, Kirby's like, hello, or like, Villager's like, okay, or no, Ness is like,
Ness
okay.
says okay, yeah.
It's like, okay. Like, or Pikachu says Pikachu. You know, it's like really cute gestures. But when you're fighting somebody and they do that, you're just like, fuck this guy. Yeah. Like, I can't believe he said hi to me.
They just keep rolling away and they keep doing it.
They spam the taunt, So, okay, naturally spammy characters. Having an abusive player name. This one girl got banished because her name was bottom tier slut. And so she got banished for that.
Then she went to Smash Hell, where she really was bottom
tier. Having a bad connection or lag switching. Or being good at Smash Brothers. You can get sent to Smash Hell. Interrupting.
So good they banned me.
There's this thing in Smash Brothers, by the way, and I did not know about this, but it's a thing that exists called taunt parties, where people will play Smash together, but all they do is they just taunt. They don't fight. They're just taunting, like hello, like Pikachu, like they're just taunting each other.
What the fuck do you play this game for?
Then if there's like random matchmaking, so if you try to play them, you actually try to fight them, all of them will gang up on you, beat up on you, and then they'll continue to taunt. And then if you try to fight them again, they'll beat up on you again. And then at the end of a taunt party, anybody who didn't participate in the taunt party, they'll report you. Yeah.
Dude, you know why that annoys me?
Classic.
Is I picture the kid and his friends who do this, and I want to punch them in the face so bad. I already know they're these little fucking chubby white kids who are like 12 or 13. They're just like, this is so funny. Like, fuck you, kid. Kill yourself.
There's someone that take it
KYS.
seriously.
So Wilkins, the poster, he says, innocent people get sent to Smash Hell. You can go there just for playing the game.
Yeah, I play with what did he say? With
Dignity and honor.
dignity and honor.
By the way, these people who play in Smash Hell, they're referred to as Dark Smashers. So that's what they're called. They're called Dark
That's
Smashers.
way too cool of a name for them.
So Dark Smashers, there's actually Dark Smashers who embrace their exile. They're just like, nah, we like it here in Smash Hell. No, there's some people who legitimately like it only because they're like, dude, we can play some really good-ass players down here. But there's some people who embrace their exile so much, they know they're never getting out of Smash Hell. So what they do is they purposely report other Smashers in order to keep them in Smash Hell with them. And dude, these people will send you messages through the Nintendo like gaming feature outside of Smash Brothers, and they'll say things like, "You're never getting out of here. We're gonna keep you in here." They'll just
Got him. Got him.
Talk about embracing it.
they message people saying they're gonna keep you there forever.
Listen, if we ever end up in Smash Hell, we will just not play Smash Bros.
That's the only way to get out of Smash, or just stop playing at that point. But opinions on Smash Hell?
You have to get some like rehab, some reform.
Some people have been stuck in Smash Hell for so long, they've created an FAQ online of how to survive in Smash Hell. It's like, all right, now that you're here in Smash Hell,
dude,
this
it's
is what
fucking
you
prison.
Yeah.
Tutorial on how to get out.
It's like, it's how to get out,
Or
but it's also
stay in.
just, it's survival. It's okay, what can you do now that you're in Smash Hell?
How to survive.
How to hopefully get out, but if not, just not get reported more, how to survive in there. There's actually Dark Smashers, genuine Dark Smashers who try to shepherd the rookies. Like, all right, let me show you how we play in here in Smash Hell. Some players like Smash Hell because they're genuinely skilled players. There's forums where people legitimately discuss strategies on getting out of Smash Hell. Like, I'm like, listen, people have been stuck in Smash Hell so long, they're like, we gotta plan how to fucking break out of Smash Hell.
Why don't they just stop playing?
I
Just
don't
do your
know.
time and get out.
Well, here's the thing. Some
your
people,
head down.
some people
Do
have
your
actually,
time.
some people have actually said that they've not played for like a month and they've gone back and they're still in Smash Hell. There's nobody monitoring it, so there's nobody to say like, oh, that's weird. There's like a weird thing going on with this player's status. Like, they're just stuck in there. And so there's people who've created plans to like, okay, on this day, everybody report to Nintendo. Let's try to create like a movement,
Petitions.
like a petition. Like they try to plan out
Prison
strategies in these forums, try to get Nintendo's attention because they've called Nintendo, and some Nintendo tech specialists are like, oh yeah, you've been soft banned, but they can't do anything about it. And others are like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, basically, Nintendo has never officially acknowledged the existence of Smash Hell.
First
They
rule of
never
Smash
have.
Hell is there is no Smash Hell.
Nintendo's like mantra is that exactly. There is no Smash Hell. There's other threads, there's other places where people will coordinate on playing together. Basically, it's so hard to find people to play with. There's forums where you're like, hey, I'm about to jump on and play right now. Anybody else want to play? Like, there's people coordinating to play at the same time just to have people to play
matchmaking,
with.
yeah.
Just their own matchmaking.
So just regular Destiny matchmaking, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Destiny
Kind
sucks.
of like how it was hard to, find players in some modes, I guess. Yeah. Also, there's people who are genuinely, legitimately paranoid. They've got out of Smash Hell, but they're paranoid about being sent back into Smash Hell. And so they're always like, nah, man, like there's people who've said they play the game, and if they feel like they're winning too much, like, I'll lose on purpose. I'll throw matches just because I don't want somebody to report me.
Right.
Like there's like a paranoia.
Can't go back, man.
They
Can't
just
go
like
back.
go sending messages to everyone, changing their nicknames to like GG smiley face, just like, oh, you're so good.
They don't taunt. They're just like, all right, just
Please don't report me.
So
Why
I
don't
mean,
they just stop playing for glory and start playing for because there's items in for fun.
Yeah, I
Fuck
mean,
that.
that's the thing.
Listen,
Yeah.
the only thing worse than Smash Hell is items.
Listen, no, you know what for fun Smash Brothers is? It's basically like Smash Hell, but this is on purpose though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the last thing to say is, Nintendo's never officially acknowledged the existence of Smash Hell. But imagine though, for a while before this guy posted about it and people like legitimately started talking about it on Reddit, nobody, like, some people thought they were crazy, like, dude, this is weird, why can't I get matchmaking?
They're just thinking Smash Bros. Sucks.
Yeah. They were just like there's something weird with my connection, but
So you don't
Smash
really
Hell.
get a notification.
There's
per
no
se.
notification.
You just
nothing.
are there all
You're
of a
there.
sudden.
You
Your
suddenly,
first
you're on the
notification is
other
someone
side.
sending you a message saying you're never leaving.
Yeah, right.
By the way, there's people who've said they've played the game and they play a normal matchmaking, normal game, everything's fine. And then the next time they matchmake, they're like, that's weird, it's taking like 5 minutes. And then all of a sudden they wind up with like trolly, weird people.
I mean, we've had that happen.
But then it just keeps happening over and over. Like, basically, they actually felt themselves get sent to Smash Hell, basically, is what I'm saying.
We've had small instances
Yeah.
of people who belong in Smash Hell, basically.
If you get sent to Smash Hell, you'll know.
Yeah, basically.
So how long is the soft ban supposed to be?
It's supposed to be
like-
3 days,
Oh, okay.
according to some
so you
people.
can just not log in and you're good.
But the problem is some people who haven't logged in have found themselves still in there for like a week,
Oh,
2 weeks
okay.
after. And then some people, because of extended reports, have been there for months.
That would be just the worst thing ever if it's 3 days playing time. It's like
72
good luck.
full hours.
Exactly.
Oh my-
'Cause
Serve
then,
your
Once you're
time.
in, right?
Yeah.
That would just be the worst. You'd need a change.org petition to.
By the way,
That's what they should do.
eventually though, there's gonna be like a trading system where it's like, listen, like if you give me some shrooms, I'll find a way to help you survive in Smash
Right,
Hell.
yeah.
You know, give me that fire flower. Yeah, all right, let's see what we
Yeah,
can
yeah.
do for you.
Take them under your wing, per se.
So, all right, Aaron, what do you got for
I
us
guess
today?
I'll go from here. So I basically wanted to talk about a game called Overwatch.
Hey.
Yeah, we just got into that
Yes.
recently.
Yes.
We just did an Overwatch cake at the bakery
Oh, really? What was on it?
Oh, that's
for a
right.
kid's birthday party.
Like figures or like design or what?
It was a design. It was some mask on the front, and then we added ninja stars.
Genji.
Genji.
Yeah, we're just sort of. I was like,
There you go.
please tell me you have a picture of this on your phone.
Yeah, I can find
need
it.
to see it.
I think we.
Yeah.
Here,
If
go
it's
ahead
Soldier
and talk, I'll see if
76,
I can find
I'm
it.
going
Oh.
to hate that kid forever.
Dude, yeah.
So dumb.
By the way, feel free to just like interrupt me whenever because I'm genuinely. We didn't talk about this before, and I'm genuinely interested to hear your guys' feedback on the game because I've been telling you every single time. I think every single time I've seen you guys since this came out to buy this game.
Yeah.
But anyways, just like Noosh was doing, just to explain like what Overwatch is for anybody who doesn't play or lives under a rock. Just kidding.
I live under a rock, so.
I know.
She lives under
Right.
a cake, to be
Shots
specific.
fired
Yeah, there you go.
Well, she still knew what it was.
Yeah.
Only because
Be a
of the
cake.
cake.
Right, she had to build the cake. So, but anyways, Overwatch is it's a team-based multiplayer first-person shooter, and it's developed by Blizzard Entertainment. So the same people who do like Diablo, World of Warcraft, StarCraft. They also made this game, and it's playable on PC and console platforms. So this is the part where I'm gonna ask you guys about that because PC Master Race. You're like, there it is.
I knew it. I knew it was going to happen sometime.
I can acknowledge that only
Got 'em.
because I can't afford a gaming PC, so I play on console for that reason.
No, yeah, same.
Yeah.
If I had the space and the money to
Yeah.
get a PC, sure. But I have neither of those things. So
You should have me build you a computer.
Build me a
On the
computer,
down
Aaron,
low.
for free.
Shout outs to Sean again. By the way, right before this, I've been since Black Friday's coming up, I'm helping like multiple people build computers. I'm like, dude, buy now because there'll be parts on sale, and just Sean was like, yeah, dude, I got to keep this kind of cheap though, and like I don't usually build like every time I like give people advice on building computers, it's always like just build it, with good parts, just do it, spare no expense so that it lasts a while. I nicknamed his build the penny pinching PC build because dude, I was just cutting corners and I did not like it. Anyways, what I'm saying is I will do the same for you guys. If that's what it takes, I will do it.
Cool.
But anyways. Basically the main like objective and whatnot like of this game is it's two teams. The main game now because now they've added arcade mode and there's like 3v3 and stuff like that. But the main
1v1.
game, hype. I was just playing
Wait,
it
what?
yesterday.
What?
yeah, there's a 1v1. And
wow.
actually, is it weekly or daily where you can...
And they've
when you
added
win?
daily like quests kind of in the thing, and I'm so happy they've done this because they've had like dailies basically in like Hearthstone. Every other Blizzard game has dailies basically. You get rewards, and it's awesome in Overwatch loot boxes where there's extra skins.
Yeah.
It's sweet, and
Yeah, because I know there's those rewards for the 1v1, and there's also one for that 3v3 elimination.
Dude, we just played 3v3 only because, dude,
the 3v3, dude, you know what it is? It's basically just what was it?
Trials.
Yeah, where it's just you have one life, and when you die, that's it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unless you're playing Mercy, you can res, and there's no like timer.
Dude, I
to
feel
when
like
you can
Mercy
res
would
them.
be clutch. In
Mercy
3v3.
has been
Mercy
clutch.
has revive. She just
Yeah.
she can like bring you back to life from the
Oh,
dead.
okay.
Yeah, she
That's-
has almost like she has like a really crappy pistol for offense. She's
That's the only
basically
thing she can
all
do to hurt
support.
people,
She
yeah.
just heals and gives damage bonus. But yeah, she's awesome if you can live long enough to get your ulti up, because then your team could just go reckless, and if they die, you can res them. But it's hard. Like the
games don't usually last long
yeah,
enough for that.
those arena games are totally unlike the main game. It's so
very
crazy.
different,
Yeah, but anyways, the main game is it's two teams with six players on each team, and they're basically fighting to like secure control points or escort payloads to their destination. So basically, it's like Team Fortress 2. But Overwatch. It has like a lot of unique characters, and like they fill different roles, like tanks, assassins, and support. And it has like 24 playable characters now,
I mean,
so.
in terms of also just the diversity, one thing I really like about Overwatch is, I mean, when they say it's a diverse cast of characters, it's diverse. Like you've got characters from multiple nationalities.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's not
ethnicities.
even just
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, there's
and
like
they did a good
Brazilian,
job.
Korean
Yeah.
characters.
They did a good job
Japanese.
of like not making them stereotypical anyway.
Yeah.
Like they
like Street Fighter, where
Yeah.
it's extremely stereotypical.
it's like I mean
it's
like
subtle. Like you can tell
yeah.
they're from different places. They have like the accents, and they're really well done.
Yeah.
They have like they look like they're from places, but they don't.
yeah. I mean like
it's not like heavily like in your face. Like look how Japanese this person is. It's just kind of like this guy's.
I think the closest thing they do to like just making it like you can tell they're from this place, but they're not a stereotype. It's just accents. So they just have an accent.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Zarya and stuff. Just the Russian
Yeah.
accent. I do like that with Street Fighter, though. Not to take that away. I love how they just take that casual racism and just run with it. It's
Wait,
hilarious
what?
to me. Like just the characters are just so like they go direct. Like Guile is so
Oh,
typical
it's like
American.
Fighter.
Like
Yeah.
that.
Not Overwatch, Street Fighter.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, actually, I guess the only other thing they could have done for Guile is just make him a fat guy that eats burgers. Because that's right. Isn't that how everyone else thinks Americans look?
You know, for some reason they did that
least
with
people who
Birdie
play
in
video
Street
games.
Fighter. You guys know Birdie, right?
Yeah,
the guy with the
dude.
mohawk.
Mm-hmm.
They made Birdie in the first Street Fighter, like Alpha. He was like this big buff British guy
yeah.
with a mohawk, and he was like buff. But dude, like in the new Street Fighter, Birdie's a fat dude, like a huge gut. Like Birdie let himself go between
he did.
games.
Again, this is what I'm saying too. It's like they play into like that character thing. So he has abilities where he'll just like throw a can on the ground, like a Mountain Dew can or whatever it is, a banana and all this crap. He'll eat like donuts and stuff for like power ups. It's funny.
Dude, other thing about Overwatch, by the way, like have you seen like videos of Overwatch? Like not gameplay, but I mean like the like. Okay,
Nothing. I've
here's-
seen nothing.
All
Watch,
characters
watch.
have like their own little.
Like what they do is Blizzard just promotes the game by having these like videos, like little mini movies, like story movies,
Okay.
like 5 minutes about each character.
Except for Diva for some
Except
reason,
for-
which
yeah.
pisses me off because that's my main.
Diva's the little Korean
good name.
gamer girl. She's cool. But here's the thing. One of the things that people love about the game, even though it's a shooter, is the animation style in the game and the movies, especially. It's Pixar. And actually, the very first movie
It
they
looks
did,
like a Pixar movie.
it feels and looks like a Pixar movie. Like if you watch
Except
it,
where
you'll
people shoot each other.
except people are shooting at each other. But I mean, even the bullets aren't. It's Incredibles,
Yeah,
basically.
there's no like
There's no
blood.
blood. It's
Yeah.
like laser bullets. You know what I mean? And nobody's getting hurt.
Yeah.
It's basically The Incredibles. And actually, the storyline is basically The Incredibles. It's like a team of superheroes who they were like saving the world from bad guys. But then what happens is they fell out of favor with the government, and the government
banned.
outlawed
They got
them.
That is
shut
the
down.
Incredibles.
Yeah, and so they went underground. Yeah,
Exactly.
and now the game is I mean, it's a shooting game, but still the story is like now they feel like now the world still needs Overwatch, and so
Yeah.
they're like
So we'll
coming
kill
back.
each other.
So we'll fight each other in tournaments. But like actually, I recommend Courtney. You should go check out like the first video because it actually is
Okay.
really sweet. Like it's actually a sweet video. Like the
Yeah,
tracer.
I'm quite literally gonna like
Okay,
even
talk
touch
about-
on that
yeah, go
because I mean people
Stealing
don't really
people's-
know, and it's to me it was so outside of Blizzard's like scope. Like
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go on with the story because I'll get to that point. But yeah, anyways, this is like one of the newer kind of like things that Blizzard's introduced to their universe. Like I said, they were more known for Diablo, StarCraft, Warcraft.
Really like bloody, serious stuff.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, like this game basically came off of a cancellation, or was built off of a cancellation of another project that they were at the time calling Titan, and that game was supposed to be like another MMORPG, like World of Warcraft, but that game that was in development for like 7 years, and they just every time just kept it was never getting anywhere. So they finally basically scrapped the idea of that game, and then that's how basically they took the characters and the world from that and made Overwatch. They were just like, okay, well, you know what? We'll take this idea and just steal Team Fortress and then go with that.
By the way, this Team Fortress is not Blizzard. It's Valve, right?
Valve does Team Fortress. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, the gameplay is similar. But anyways, so to go off that story, that is that like when they did the announcement for Overwatch, like I was there at BlizzCon 2014 when they like announced it.
Oh, wow.
And just it was. I remember what we were doing at the time because I don't think really anybody expected them to announce a totally new universe to their thing, and we were just waiting in line to get merchandise, right? And we're trying to time, like when we get up to the thing, because they have this stuff like undraped and they won't sell you the stuff until they make their announcement.
Oh, okay.
So the opening ceremony's going on and we're just standing off to the side like, wait, we might be able to get some new merchandise for this, whatever game it is, Warcraft or whatever we thought they were going to announce. They roll that video, that opening cinematic that you were talking about, Noosh.
The Tracer and
Winston.
It legitimately just looks like a Pixar film. Well, he basically was like, and here's what we got for you, and they start rolling that, and I'm just looking at it like, what is this? Are they doing a movie? Like, is this a Pixar movie? It legit looks like a Pixar animated bit.
The game looks like.
I don't know if I just want to mention this. Like that video actually has 2 kids in it, like Pixar-looking kids who like look up to the heroes, and the heroes save the day. Like it feels like The Incredibles so much.
Legit, yes. Yeah. Everyone was just looking around like, are they doing a movie? Like, what is this? And then they just like announced it at the end, and they had to kind of like clarify, like, it's a new game. Like, this is what we're doing.
Everyone's
be excited, No, but
do we? Yeah, no. What was that?
Yeah, so I mean, it was just kind of weird.
They didn't give you any idea, like gameplay or just like anything to tell you what kind of game it was.
Well, I mean, like I said, they just kind of opened up with that video, and based off of that, we didn't know if it was going to be like a movie. Like, well, we don't know these characters. This is not. This is a new universe. Like, nobody really knew what to expect. And then, but I mean, luckily, since it's BlizzCon and they were doing their announcement, they had the game playable there, on the show floor, and you get to get in line and play, and it was amazing. So, but like, in any case, the game's released now, and it's been one of the more successful things that Blizzard's done in the past like couple of years, because World of Warcraft until Legion was coming out, that was like dropping off. They were just losing subscribers. Like,
correct me if I'm wrong. Like, I want to hear all your opinions. I think the reason it was so successful is the animation style and all that stuff. It made it very accessible, just like casual people who just like the animation, things like that. But also, I think it's because it was a shooter, and shooters are kind of more accessible in a lot of ways to people than, let's say, like an RTS or an MMO. Yeah. And the third thing is because it's a very simple shooter. It's not like Call of Duty style.
I think there's two things that one, it's really simple to play, and two, it's diverse in both ways. In the way that, like, you pretty much anyone can go on there and be like, oh, that person's like my kind of character, like I want to play that person. But also, like, the roles that you can play and like the ways each character plays are very different. So like you can, like, even just among, like, if you look at the healer class, none of the healers are the same. They're all super different in how they work. So there's always, like, something for you to play.
Yeah, the gameplay for each role is very unique.
The thing I like the most about the game, when I got excited about, like, you were always telling me about it, but, like, I was following it. Even though I don't play the game, I don't have a computer to play it on, I didn't have it on console. It wasn't even out on console, but I was always watching the videos, the gameplay. I was, like, following it just because I really was interested in it. And the thing that interested me the most was that most of the time when Ryan and I play shooter games together, it's a shooter. Like, you have to shoot people to play. But, like, I like the fact that I can play a support role, because I actually prefer just supporting people and healing, and, like, I don't like to shoot people.
We need more of you online.
Because he's bad.
Nobody wants to play those.
Yeah.
They're the anti-fun classes.
I love it, dude. I actually, like, genuinely, if somebody else gets a kill and I was, like, buffing
dude, what they do in Overwatch, though, is cool. Is like, as a healer, you get a lot of
amazing.
You get a lot of.
By the way, you guys need to see this cake.
Yeah,
this cake is just, it has Genji
Oh yeah.
Was it
yeah.
Genji?
It's Genji's face.
Yeah.
And he's got like it's like a sword or like a ninja
Yeah, he
star.
throws
and-
ninja stars.
What's that like? Is that a sword on the?
Oh, he has a sword too.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. Looks cool.
But yeah. Anyways, so
sick.
that was just my explanation of what the game is. But I actually have like a story or whatever on the game. So basically, and I grabbed this from Kotaku or some other thing. But apparently, 2 months ago, there was a YouTuber named DSP.
Dude,
That's-
I know the
DSP
story,
Stanky?
and I freaking love it.
I love that name,
Yeah.
DSP Stanky. So, anyways,
I was, by the way, I was almost going to talk about this.
I wanted to see, if you guys would relate to this because
He's
Well,
going to relate to it.
I
Yeah.
will.
Because okay, so anyways, this guy uploaded a video where he's just and he plays on console. So there's this kind of there's always been this thing where it's like where people would play a certain game on console. That whenever the PC people are like, oh, well, you get wrecked on PC and just stuff like that. And I mean, to some extent, it's kind of true. Like they will never like really have the exact accuracy of a mouse. They literally tune the game differently on console than they do on PC. Like for instance, Torbjorn's turrets on console will lock on, significantly slower than they do on PC, where it's like almost immediate on PC. It's just click, click, and it'll start wrecking because nobody's going to have that kind of like reaction in the, whatever.
Because the mouse is much faster than...
Right, yeah, than using the thing. But anyways, so people just take that to the next level and they're like, wow, you'd get wrecked. So this guy, he uploaded a video just dominating with Lucio. And it's just so funny because like
By the way, the thing about this character that he was playing as, Lucio, he can run on walls, and he's like a super mobile, fast character. And so the whole thing about this video that he put up was like just him outmaneuver, like breaking ankles. Like he was outmaneuvering people so much that they didn't even know where he was anymore. When they were trying to shoot him, he was just gone. And he was like behind him, killing him, whatever. Like he's like insanely good.
He's a support character, and usually when you upload these kind of like videos on like you want to be, oh, I'm so good, I'm gonna kill everybody. No, this guy was just evasive. Just nobody can hit him. Yeah, he just. Lucio has this unique characteristic. By the way, this is like a Brazilian guy who goes around playing his music. He plays music and heals people with his music.
One of his skins
buffs.
Actually is like he's just Dead Mouse basically. Like, he has like a helmet.
Yeah,
it's a frog. But it's the same thing.
And so he has rollerblades. He just goes skating around, healing everyone with his sweet beats,
sick tune.
the sweet healing beats. So. That's why this is like so funny. And so anyways, basically everyone was responding to this YouTube video going like, oh, well, if you were playing on PC, a McCree would take you out instantly. You would get just destroyed. There's no way you'd get away with this on PC.
By the way,
right?
side note, I've only played Overwatch literally one day, like one night, couple hours. But like I've been killed. McCree, by the way, he's a cowboy character whose special ultimate
It's
move
high
it's
noon.
that
Yeah, everyone
it's
hears
high
that.
noon, and he just shoot like he instant hit it kills
take
you.
out a whole team.
Dude, every time I hear it's high noon, I duck and cover. I duck and cover. It's like PTSD. I'm like, oh shit! Like if somebody said it's high noon right now, I'd go under the table.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just the one thing you do not want to hear. Everyone immediately says, "Oh shit!" Like, if you're spectating a game and you see that,
him
everyone
walking all
just
slow.
scurries to get around something. But yeah. So, anyways, everyone's responding to this YouTube video that he put up, basically showing off like, "Hey, I'm really good with Lucio." They're like, you'd get wrecked on PC, and he took this like, "All right, challenge accepted." He goes into challenge accepted mode, and so. Basically, he started playing Overwatch on PC seriously, and ended up like climbing the ranks. You got to like qualify for ranked play and all this, so it takes like a little bit of time, but
A couple months.
I mean, not to qualify, but like
No, like in his in the second video, it said like 2 months.
Yeah, I guess it said on here that he had 50 hours of game time. So I'm not really sure how casually he played, but. He was ascending the ranks, and it said here that he did solo queuing, so it would queue him in with other people, not necessarily fully constructed teams playing
Like he
ranked.
just joined in by himself.
basically what we're doing.
Yeah, but he ascended to like over 4,000 rating, which is very very high and just like, you get like these sweet icons and everything, and basically
That's basically S class.
yeah.
Like, he's
So
just, like,
S-class.
right, you don't
Dude,
get
are we unranked right now? In
yeah, you have to
Overwatch?
be level 25 before you can even start.
before you can even
Damn,
before
dude,
you can
I'm not
start
even.
ranking.
Yeah, and
Dude,
then you
I'm
gotta
like
do
level one.
qualifying
I'm amateur
matches.
league right now.
We're not even ranked yet.
Yeah,
so.
and then you got to do qualifying matches, and it puts you in a certain rank.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so
legit.
anyways, he ended up, getting up there with the top, some of the best Overwatch players, highest ranking, and he made a, kind of like a compilation video of his 50-hour, rise to the top, and he had like,
That Queen song in the back.
Yeah, oh man. Everybody needs to go watch the video if you haven't seen it. The video itself is called Vindication, which is just a gem. And but yeah, and it was just so funny because like in the video, he'll like, you can see people in the chat like giving him props on
They're
how
like, "You're
good
a
he
god."
is. Yeah, they're just, oh my god, never played a Lucio, that's that good, and just
And he did the same thing on PC basically. He just like broke people's
right.
ankles.
Yeah,
Like,
he's breaking down walls.
there's like one there's one part in that video where he's like got like no life left almost, and he's just like dodging. It was like two other people. I don't know who it was, but he's just like dodging them so much that like he just kept doing it until he got a super, and he's like,
yeah,
they're all
just,
dead.
Yeah.
Dude, by the way, one thing I really love about competitive gaming, multiplayer gaming, fighting games, shooters, whatever, I love the fact that, and games with multiple characters, by the way, Destiny doesn't count for this, but like games
Destiny
with
doesn't count for
multiple,
anything.
games with multiple character types, right, classes or specific characters, I love that. There's things where they say like, oh, dude, that guy's the best Lucio player in the world. Like there are players in Smash Bros. Like that's the best Jigglypuff player in the world. like I love the idea that you can be the best of this one character anybody's ever seen.
Yeah. You can really set yourself apart because there's
Yeah.
always this stuff in these multiplayer games where it's just you get bad character matchups, whatever. For instance, like a Mei in Overwatch, she'll like freeze you and stuff.
What
She's kind of like
ethnicity? No, what
She's
ethnicity?
Chinese.
She's Chinese.
Oh, she's
yeah.
Chinese.
She
okay.
speaks Chinese sometimes.
Oh yeah, I
actually.
didn't know. She's like really bundled up and covered, so I couldn't tell
Yeah.
who she was.
Like,
anything.
She's
Mei-
like an environmental scientist or something.
Yeah, like her backstory is kind of cool. Like she was like like frozen or whatever, kind of like what are they thinking to do on a Walt Disney or whatever.
She has
cryogenically
what's
frozen.
that guy's name from
something
Incredibles?
like that.
Frozone, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Frozone, yeah.
She's basically she has like a ice gun.
Chinese
Yeah.
girl
Yeah.
version of Frozone.
Yeah. But she'll like almost always beat a Genji in, like a one-on-one matchup. It's like people in fighting games will give it a number ratio on like what you went, like that's a
Always
that's a
breaking it down to
7-3
stats.
matchup.
Yeah.
7-3 matchup, 8-2 matchup, stuff like that. But people like these character specialists that we call them in the fighting game community can, they
They can break the odds.
They're like everyone's a
Yeah,
they're
like,
two
they-
matchup for Lucio,
Yeah.
and then they're like, but not that guy.
they turn their bad matchups into good matchups
Yeah.
for them. So yeah, that's always impressive, and I always really like how people can be known for that too. It's the same way in the fighting game stuff, especially when people play characters that are never played. That's really hype. But yeah, so this guy he did that, and the video is just glorious, and it's just so funny too because
I was gonna actually. I sent Noosh yesterday. I sent you a video of like somebody wrecking with Lucio. That was him.
yeah.
And I was gonna send
I've
you.
seen this already.
You know,
on
you didn't see the
Kotaku.
Vindicated one or this
maybe
video.
not that one. I saw the Kotaku article. Yeah.
because I was like gonna send you that, but I was like, nah, maybe I'm gonna talk about this tomorrow.
Oh.
So I didn't.
Did I steal your topic?
No. I had a
You're just
totally
like,
separate
I'm
thing.
He's got his own thing.
But
But
yeah.
I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah,
'cause-
for anyone who's wondering how good he is, he gave some tips, and that is he has his sensitivity set at 10, and he's constantly, and you notice in the video too, he's constantly swapping between
Speed and health?
like back and forth, just
Why?
to like speed up and slow down his like movement, because when you're sitting there
Wait.
strafing,
When you're switching between those two powers on that character, your character gets sped up and stuff like
yeah,
that.
and everyone on your team too. Like when you switch to the speed one, everyone on your
Dude,
team.
can I
gets-
ask you a question? Because this is something that's been bothering me when I play that
This is
game.
this is some like high level,
Dude,
Just-
I was trying to heal people with Lucio, and I didn't know how to do it. Like, I kept switching back and forth, but how do you heal people?
Well, he has just two things. One of them he turns to the healing beat, and then the other one he turns to the speed
beat.
boost. So one of them's a faster song, one's a slow kind of, whatever healing thing. So you just leave it on the healing one, and then anyone in your like proximity or general area will get that healing.
It's
so
an automatic
you don't,
heal?
Yeah, you don't
oh,
do anything.
Dude,
You
I
don't
was looking
cast
for a
that.
trigger this whole time.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, why can't I heal any...
Yeah.
You have to imagine I was switching back and forth like, dude,
What?
I was
This isn't
so
working.
confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this guy uses
Dude, it's
it.
passive healing. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's amazing, and that's
Yeah.
why a lot of the top, like teams will almost always have a Lucio on their team. Like, they'll roll like 2 tanks, 2 healers,
Yeah.
2 DPS or killing characters, and just he's almost always on their stuff. But anyways,
He has to stand around pretty much. and
yeah,
people get healed.
he's switching back and forth because it makes it more difficult for him to shoot. So like he'll go from going really fast when he goes to the speed win to going slow. And
So
just,
they're like, it's hard to follow him.
Yeah, while he's jumping and wall riding constantly. So people are just sitting there like, dude, I cannot hit this guy, and he's just slowing and speeding himself up, and they're trying to just get the pace. So anyways, that's how he's so basically evasive. And
just
plus, he's
unpredictable.
also just found gimmicks where he can skate and get up in places where it's very hard for people. You have to like realize, oh well, he's up in the ceiling.
By the way, the next thing I have to learn if I want to play Lucio is I have to learn to skate because I literally could
Dude,
not even skate.
Literally, it's like a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Like because you have to like, it's kind of like Tony Hawk and like grinding. You got to keep your grind going,
Oh,
basically,
yeah.
or else you'll just fall off the wall. So there's
Yeah.
like a whole art to like being able to get up in these areas. This guy has found out all that stuff while being evasive and just being a generally good player. So it's just I thought that was really interesting and just kind of funny. So
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about something that I think you're going to appreciate, especially. I want to talk about possibly the most infamous
Famous.
thing that's ever happened in
Memorable.
competitive gaming. Moment 37.
oh yes, I'm so hype right now.
I actually know. Listen, the target audience for this has to be people who are not familiar with this
No, yeah,
game.
absolutely.
Like, I want you to just explain to Courtney why this moment is so
That's-
cool.
that's the
Because
point.
I think the three of us are like, no, moment 37 is like,
Okay, so
there.
We were talking
So-
about Evo earlier. This is Evo moment 37.
yeah.
So this is how crazy this thing got. It got covered by ESPN, got covered by Rolling Stone. Aaron is like so
I'm
hyped
just
right now.
basking in the hype right now.
Okay, so Evo. I mean, actually, you could probably tell us what Evo is more than I could, but it's a fighting game competition, right?
Okay.
So it's like, and they do all kinds of fighting games. Like pretty
Yeah,
much
like
every
it's not
fighting
just
game
for
is-
Street Fighter. They do Smash. They do Marvel vs.
vs.
Capcom. They
Capcom.
do King of Fighters.
And
Guilty
there's
Gear.
BlazBlue
Yeah,
sometimes.
BlazBlue.
Yeah.
They
Prize
all
money
the,
involved
all the
also,
anime
yeah.
fighters. Yeah.
Yeah, so
yeah.
Evo is the longest
It's
running.
like the mecca.
Yeah, it's the longest running fighting game championship.
Hosted in Las Vegas every year.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we talk about the actual moment, I want to talk about the people involved. So, Daigo.
Daigo.
You say
The
Daigo?
Beast.
Well, he's Japanese.
Umehara.
It's Daigo Umehara.
Yeah, Daigo the Beast Umehara.
Yeah, that's actually part of his name.
That is.
You will address him
As the Beast. Daigo the
He's
Beast.
the beast.
So he's Japanese. He's from Japan. Doesn't
Okay.
speak any English. He is super famous in Japan. This is before the moment. Okay, so he was super famous in Japan already for his like fighting game prowess. He's referred to as the god of 2D fighting games in Japan. There's a manga about him.
What?
There's also now a book, I
He
believe.
wrote
I heard
a
that.
best-selling motivational book called The Will to Keep Winning. He has a statue at Evo. There's a statue of him now. He has the Guinness World Book of Records record for most consecutive tournament wins. And but personally for me, my favorite thing about him is that he's equal parts cold calculating Tim and main character of an anime. So he is. I'm going to give you some quotes from him that made me think of him in this way. Okay, so in his book, one of the things he writes is, "Losing meant having to lower my head. To me, that was reprehensible. I'd rather die than give up." So he is super anime. Like that is like the most anime main character guy ever, right? Also, another thing is like at 15 when he won his first national title. Here's what he had to say about it. 15-year-old. This is Tim, okay?
Yeah.
He says, having put in more hours than all the other players out there, being the best felt like the obvious outcome. So when I was handed that trophy, it didn't excite me whatsoever.
That was a pop off.
Dude, he thought nothing. He
It was
needed
just
another
like,
high.
well, of course I won. I had the most time in. Whatever.
I'm not even afraid of God now.
I am God.
That dude was feeling himself on an entirely another level. That is amazing.
Yeah, so he's already really good in Japan. He's well known there. But Evo is in America. And
Whole other ball game.
yeah. So
Well, I also not. I mean, it's also world. The
Yeah,
whole
like
world's playing.
people fly.
so
out.
it's worldwide.
Korea.
It's worldwide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this the person he was playing against in this particular thing for this, it was Street Fighter 3, was a guy named Justin Wong. He's American. He was 18 at the time. By the way, Umahara the Beast was 23 at the time.
Okay. He's a little older, senior citizen, basically. In the world
Actually,
of
in
video
the
games.
world of
Yeah.
competitive
Video games,
that's pretty old. I
Yeah.
mean, usually they're
Yeah.
what, like 16.
It's like the range is like 16 to like 20 is your peak years of
Yeah.
competitive video gaming.
Uh-huh.
And
once
after
you
that,
once you can legally drink, it's kind of like,
yeah,
hey man, you're
and
getting old.
Then
specifically
you have
it's
to
because
retire the console.
your hand-eye coordination is way lower than like
Okay.
a 15, 16-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I wrote for Justin Wong because
Dude, by the way,
I don't care about
cheating
him.
in competitive gaming is like, nah, this kid doesn't look 16, looks like he's 12. Nah, he's old. He's old enough.
Let me see your ID. All I wrote about Justin Wong is that he was 18 and he beat the only other like exceptional Japanese player there at the time. I don't care about Justin Wong.
Yeah.
He was American. That's what he was.
This is the underdog story of. Well, it's not even an underdog.
It's not
story.
an underdog story,
Yeah.
really, because he was an underdog in this moment,
Yeah,
I guess.
in this
Right.
moment.
Yeah.
Okay, so the moment.
By the way,
By the way,
before you even start too, like Justin Wong now is still one of the most like well-respected and best players in the world, and in more than one fight. Like he's risen, like he's absolutely proven himself.
He's won
even
a
at
lot
this
there now,
time, even at this time, yeah, he's the underdog because it's Daigo, but he's still
He's no scrub,
he's no
for sure.
slouch, absolutely.
Two things, by the way. One, I just want to say, though, I mean, you should probably explain
Yeah,
some
the
of the elements,
scenario.
like chipping and all that stuff.
No,
when
no,
you
no,
do it.
yeah.
But wait, one thing I want to say is just one thing I want to say about these two competitors before we see what happens is they are truly the best representations of like the ideals of fighting community. Like they're really competitive, but they're also very like good sportsmen. They respect each other. Like they are the ideal of like fighting game competitors.
Daigo, like one thing that people always say about Daigo too is that he is so collected. Like he does not get hype about himself. He doesn't react to things. He doesn't get upset. He doesn't nothing. He's just very.
He just absolutely. And the one thing that everybody knows when you play Daigo is you do not jump on him. He will DP
Punish you.
you every single time. That is the number one rule. So you have to ground game footsie this guy to death.
Just in case anybody, DP is not some technical video game term. It literally means dick punch.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he turns and dick punches Justin Wong. He's like, yeah, I'll do that again if you try and jump at me. So yeah, sorry, that's a dragon punch.
Dragon punch.
Is it dragon punch?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was just dick punch.
It's just like, well, I mean, it's a Shoryuken, so people just kind of
okay,
like,
God.
yeah, the acronym, because more of one character, I guess, has that kind of like motion or whatever,
Yeah,
an
that
anti-air.
particular move.
A basic anti-air
I
is kind of what
literally-
that, it's generically just considered a DP.
I've always thought of DP. I mean, just when I've heard the term as dick punch, only because when you're jumping, you
That
are
punch is
literally
better.
Well, no, because you're literally getting
Oh.
uppercutted in the dick.
Yeah.
But the character is getting dick
Oh
punched.
my gosh. You know what? I never thought about it like
Yeah,
that.
that's why I always thought that meant.
That's
dick
even
punch.
more
I mean, dragon
devastating.
punch if your dick's a dragon.
Go on. Ryan.
Okay, so Wong's strategy for this was, and this is how he beat the other like major Japanese player
Yeah.
there, was what they would call like turtling, or I guess chipping. Is he would just be very defensive. I would equate it to how Mayweather fights in boxing. Like he's just very reactive, very like, kind of like staying away, and he'll just take pot shots,
Okay.
slowly bringing down the other person's life. And so that's what he was doing to Daigo.
And in Street Fighter, this particular game, if you block, like if you defend yourself, you get hit. You take a little
getting
bit
to
of.
that.
Oh,
Yeah, but anyway,
Okay.
even if you're blocking, you're still taking
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah.
A small amount.
yeah.
A small amount of damage.
Fractional.
So Wong has been turtling the whole game until it gets to Daigo is down to a single pixel of health. So meaning, I mean, if Wong breathes on him funny,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
dead. He can't block. He
yeah.
can't do anything. He's
One more blocked attack, he would have died
Yeah.
from chip.
anything. Just anything that happens to him, he's dead now. So
This was round 3, right? This is a final.
this is
round.
the final round
Okay.
of the final fight.
Of
This
the
is
fi-
this is
the-
it.
This is the end of the tournament.
This is it.
Yeah.
So if he and he's down to like you can't even see his health anymore. He's
Yeah.
done. He's dead,
Okay.
but still up basically.
Yeah.
So Wong sees this, And there's this moment where, like, and we should put the video.
Oh yeah,
up on
wait.
Facebook.
Oh yeah, you know what I was about to say? You should
No,
cue
we
that
will.
up so we can. Oh, okay. Do
No,
that.
we'll-
Oh, by the way, wait, because I don't know if you're going to talk about the parry too.
Wait, also-
Yeah, of course.
the mechanic,
Dude,
as in like explain.
We'll explain the mechanic after. But
Oh, okay.
Mention the characters they're playing as.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
Justin Wong is playing Chun Li, and
Yeah.
Daigo's playing Ken.
Ken.
So
Ken.
Chun Li, by the way, is like known as the like probably the most OP
She's
power
super OP,
character
yeah.
in Street Fighter 3 or Third Strike.
So and Wong also has like a fully charged super meter, so he is like he's done.
Yeah,
pretty
easy.
much.
Yeah.
So Daigo sort of like is just standing there, like it's gonna happen, and so Wong initiates his super, which is Chun-Li's super in this game is a 15 hit. It's 15, right? 15
Yeah,
kicks.
it's 15 or 16.
It's like a
something
15
that.
hit combo
Kick, yeah.
that covers pretty much the whole screen.
Yeah.
You're not getting away from this. And so he initiates it, and what Daigo does is he parries instead of blocking. So parrying is you move into the attack within a very specific window, and I'm going to talk about how specific that window is. And you move into that each hit, and you
Yeah.
actually negate damage. You take no damage.
Okay.
But the window is 4 frames out of 30 when the actual like character's hitting you. You have to do it exactly at the right time. 4 frames. That's I found out exactly how many milliseconds that is. It's 70 milliseconds. Human reaction time is 250 milliseconds. So he didn't have to do this just one time. He parried 15 fucking attacks. Like he parried every
Wow.
single hit and then reversed it into his own super.
Wait.
and won.
Did Justin do the super twice or just once? Was
Just
it
once.
Just the one.
15. Okay.
Just one.
But it's just a sequence of attacks.
sequence,
You can't
yeah.
cancel it or whatever.
Yeah.
But
So, but here's the other thing that's pretty crazy about that. So the window to parry is, like I said, 70 milliseconds.
Yeah.
That first parry, he basically had to parry before the attack even happened. Like, there's no way there was no reaction. He couldn't have reacted to that simply because human beings aren't capable of that. So he predicted when
Oh, yeah.
and where he was going to do the actual first attack, parried all 15, and then turned around and beat him. And it was like, I've never been to EVO. I've never, like, played Street Fighter 3, or really, like, I've never been that much into Street Fighter. But watching that was, like, the most hype thing I've ever... It was crazy watching it. Yeah, like, You also mentioned earlier, like, that there was a specific...
There's something
He
that,
was so calculating in it,
Yeah.
which is what makes it crazy.
I want to add to that. Basically, because what he did was he did the parrying thing, right? But the thing is, Daigo had to build up his super meter as he was parrying. And in order for him to do the super move that he was going to do as Ken and finish him off, Ken had to be in the air as he did the final parry, which means 14 of those kicks, he's just swatting the kicks away. But the 15th kick, he had to be in the air and in 70 milliseconds parry that one too.
Yeah.
And he did. He jumped in the air as he parried the 15th kick and then initiated his super, which means...
Well, also, let's take into
Yeah.
account the entire thing here, okay? So he's been losing this whole game. And actually, the commentator says, oh, this is one of the few times you'll see Daigo angry, because he was actually, like, getting upset. But, so, he's down to 1 pixel of health. And here's the thing. He's a Japanese guy in America, in a room full of Americans, rooting for an American player.
imagine
And
the
he
nerves
knows
that
this guy's going to try to finish me with a fucking, like, super cool... Like, he's not going to just let the clock run
Yeah,
out. If he let
that's
the clock
right.
run out, he would have still
Yeah,
won.
Justin-
If he just punched him, he
yeah.
would have still won. If he just shot a whatever, like, he could have won in a number of ways. But
Yeah.
he knew that Justin was going to try to initiate a super only because, for show, he's an American.
an
That's what
American
he's
thing to
doing.
do.
Justin, but Justin's known as a flashy player. Like, that's his thing. His trademark is he's flashy.
actually not really.
No, because he turtled the whole time.
Yeah, he's
Wait,
actually
Justin?
Justin is actually kind of like Daigo in a sense where he's very very calculated and just very he's at least not in Marvel now when he plays like that. Nothing really too flashy, just very calculated read, oriented
Maybe he learned
play.
his lesson.
Yeah, but perhaps.
No, but anyway, so one of the things he did, and you can see it in the video, is Daigo stays really far away from him. He stays full screen, and the reason for that is he's like, okay, he's trying to like coax him into doing the super because he's going to try to do this parry thing. And by the way, he knows what he's going to have to do when he's going to go into this. He knows this is the Hailest of Hail Marys there is. 70 milliseconds is like crazy. So he's staying far away from him, and he's like just still trying to figure out, like, basically predict he's going to try to do this right now.
Yeah.
And then he did. He successfully predicts when he's going to do it. Predicted, first of all, that he was going to do it. Predicted when he was going to do it. Parried all of them, all 14 kicks. And then the 15th one, he still had to have, like...
Jump.
The time, like the mental, I guess, like, capacity to, like, jump and do it. It wasn't just reactionary.
Execution.
Yeah.
It's
crazy. It's considered, like, the most epic...
Yeah, the greatest moment in fighting games.
Yeah, what people don't really understand, too, is that, like, in these Street Fighter games, you hold back to block, you push forward to parry. So that's, in itself, is putting yourself at a risk of getting hit. Because if you mistime it, you get hit. Like, that's it. He did that whole thing for every single...
And we'll put the video up on...
I think it's one of those things where even if you don't play Street Fighter, when you watch, like, dude, that looks impressive.
You'll appreciate it.
That looks impressive.
Because even if you don't really know what's going on, like, the actual fine details, it's still very...
Yeah, I mean, it's... And what's funny is, like, I read some interviews of both of them afterward, and Justin says, actually, which this is the quote that, like, I enjoyed the most. He said something like, he's like, you know what, I was 18 at the time, and when it happened, it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen in my life. Like, he was like... He had so much respect for the move that was done, and everyone in the room also was initially rooting for him, but as soon as he starts parrying, and he doesn't stop, and he finishes, everyone is, like... Just in an uproar. Just
imagine,
like, this guy is the king of
By
everything.
Also, you know what's really good about Justin? Justin and Daigo, both great competitors, best, players in the world. But, dude, I feel like also, I mean, it's impressive to beat Justin because, dude, you were a part...
Dude, it immortalized them. It immortalized them. Two people from different countries who never spoke the same language are, like, immortalized for the same moment. And that's it's crazy. It's cool that, like...
I mean, it's cool to be basically, it's the equivalent of... I mean, it's not the same in real life, but it's kind of like being the guy that Muhammad Ali knocked out. Like,
I was there for that.
Yeah, I was the guy who got knocked out.
Yeah, baseball has the shot heard rung around the world, and competitive gaming has moment 37. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's about time to wrap up. I mean, we got to do our signal boosting, though. I have nothing that I want to signal boost, really. Aaron, is there anything you want to, like, signal boost for your, friends, or, like, if they have, like, a upcoming event, if Sam has some kind of event at the pet place, like, is there anything you want to...
Not that I know of.
Okay, any shout-outs before we...
No, just thank you all for having me.
Dude, I hope you'll come back. Like, it was great to have you, man. I enjoyed it.
I don't know about that drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping
it's pretty bad, dude.
I was hoping that... Well, hopefully, maybe if it's not the holidays, it might be better. But, like, I was hoping that you being here, you'd be like, oh, man, it's pretty legit. Like, this is pretty fun.
I mean, it's nice.
You know what, Aaron,
I think I have AIDS now because of that drive.
When you left after he got here to, like, go to the restroom or something, and it was just me and him in here, he was like, do you guys both go to the school? And I was like, oh, no. And he was like, I was like, I wouldn't make that drive for school. He's like, I wouldn't make this drive for this thing ever. Like, I would never do this again. And I was like,
man. Oh, well.
I love you guys and stuff.
It's good to have you at least once, though.
Yeah.
He did drive 2 hours.
We'll see.
Here's my shout. Devin, I still expect you to be on the show next week for pets. Devin's coming.
Thrown under the bus.
Devin's coming. Courtney, anything you want to signal boost or shout out to? Or
No, nothing going on.
The baker's still going good.
Still there.
If you want an Overwatch cake.
Oh, wait, I do have a shout out.
Yeah.
Shout outs to my dog, Nova.
That dog's a centurion.
That dog hits like a grown-ass man.
Ryan?
Nope.
Well, I mean, all I'm saying is there any...
I don't know. I feel like we need like a...
We need a bombshell, do we?
Yeah. we do, but...
Just like hinting.
We're trying to find a thing to... Whatever, we're terrible at this.
Yeah,
Okay.
And on that bombshell, it's time to end. Thank you and good night.
Happy Thanksgiving. Ryan and Noosh Are Dead is made possible thanks to KDHR, the student-operated radio station of California State University, Dominguez Hills. For more information about KDHR,